I've got my tensions down below the 0.015 foot threshold, but in this example I kept going until I ended up breaking the scans. Typically for each scan we shoot for 3 to 5 or even more total references per scan, because what happens is on occasion the references will run into high tensions and we'll need to set an anti-correspondence. What that means is we will not use that target for the placement of the scans. And with this redundancy of references, we can set a lot of anti-correspondences without affecting the overall registration. In this case, I wanted to show you specifically what can happen if you're just blindly clicking away. On the bottom of my target tensions, it tells me that I'm in a green light since my mean target distribution is 0.00467, an acceptable value. All of my distance errors are below 0.015. However, when I click back to my scan results, you'll notice that there are these red X's in front of 4 of the scans. What that means is they don't have enough references to tie them together, as I've gone anti-correspondence on all of the references up to the point where it intentionally broke the scans. As you'll see, my overall scan manager will now give me a red light. What I want to highlight here is one of the ways that we can manually put this together. This is done in the registration tab of Scene. It will typically tell you what the result of the scan is and what it would like to do. If we were all green light with our target-based scans, we could go ahead and perform a cloud-to-cloud registration at this time to tighten them up. Or in this case, with a broken registration, it will have us perform a manual registration for this scans cluster. We'll go ahead and do that. This is the manual scan selection interface. On the left side we will have the initial scan that we pick, and on the right side we will have the second scan. We would assume that the scans are performed in a sequential manner, meaning that in this instance scan 0 can go with scan 1. We will click the Mark Targets option and then we'll have each of the scans load. This interface will allow us to see what each of the scans captured, including the reference targets, as well as any other planes or sharp points. Scene allows us to use 3 different types of references. We can use spheres, we can use targets, or we can use physical objects or content. In this instance, I'm looking at the scan. I can see this target 293, but with the second position of the scanner it obstructs 292. What I can do in this example to tighten this up is use some of these walls. I can do that by marking the plane on this first scan. It's a large plane, so it'll take a while because it's grabbing the entire wall on this scan. And on the second scan, I will grab the same plane. What you'll notice is when Scene gives you this green icon, it means that it has recognized that as a reference. So my checkerboard has gone green, that's a good correspondence, and this wall is a good plane that it can use. If I wanted to, I can also use sharp points. For instance, I can look at the foot of this chair. In this scan, if I want to mark a point, I can grab that point at the edge of the chair. I want to grab a corresponding point on this first scan. If they're good enough, then it will go green and recognize it. When Scene has enough references in each scan, a minimum of 2 or 3, then it will give me the option to register and verify. Based on our initial settings, what it will do here is perform that cloud-to-cloud registration between these 2 scans using the references that I've selected manually, and it will try and place those scans together. Once it's done that quick registration of the 2 scans, I can take a look and see how well it did. Each of the scans is displayed in a different color, so it's very easy to pick out the discrepancies. I'm looking at my walls, which look good. I'm looking at the bed sheets, and I can even see the wrinkles that they're accurate, as well as this light fixture. I always want to take a look from the top view to see the scans, but also from the side. so that I can make sure that my elevation is looking accurate. When I'm happy with those, I will say yes, I'm happy with the result. What this will do is create an auto cluster where I have these first two scans tied together. From there, I just need to sequentially go through and continue this process for the other 5 scans. Once you've done that, then you'll have all the scans together. The cloud will ensure that they're tightened, and then we'll look at the results when we get to that point.